Hey guys, it's time for another painting tutorial. This time we're doing this amazing looking serpent head. We're going to do this in nice metallic colours to show you just how easy it can be. So, first step to doing this is we're going to prime it with some Chaos Black. So let's do that. Okay, we have sprayed our little serpent head. Pure Chaos Black, the best primer in my opinion. Always go for Chaos Black if I was you. Right, from now we are going to go with a little tactic you might have seen in one of my previous videos. So we have a dark and a light silver. So we're using Iron Hand Steel, Stormhost Silver, and Retributor Gold and Auric Armor Gold. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them on the white palette, and then we're going to go from a dark silver to a light silver to a dark gold to a light gold, and then we're going to do like a light gold and a light silver together type thing. So let us start. In fact, you know what, we're going to do it the reverse way this time. So give your paints a shake, as always. So we're going to get it on the wet palette. Get quite a fair bit. I'm going to use my little manky brush, because why not? And to be honest, this head is quite big. So, right, that is our dark silver. Wash your brush off. Then we want our light gold. Mine's very stodgy. Mine is so stodgy. My Citadel metallic paints are a bit ruined. Let me know if anyone else's get like this, but mine are a bit ruined. As I've got gold all over me as well. We're going to wash our brush off again. Okay, time to go with the Iron Hand Steel. Yep, look at this. Just a mess, but that's fine. Oh, mine is very not looking good. This is a paint I do need to replace, to be honest, so I'm not too worried. Then we've got our light silver of Stormhost. Another one of mine that is completely mangled. Needs a real good shake. Okay. Get this in here too. Like such. Okay, right. Now that we've got all these set out, we are going to take our dry brush. Mine is somewhere in here, when I can see it. I don't see my dry brush in here. That is not a good start. That is not a good start. So we're going to use this mangled one I have, and we are going to very simply dry brush from a light silver, dark silver, light gold, dark gold, and then we're going to do a mixture of light and dark, sorry, light and light, just to build up the gradient on this, and so you'll see what happens. So you want to get some paint on your brush, if you've never dry brushed before, like such, get a bit of tissue, like I have here, wipe as much off as possible, and then you're going to very gently just let the paint collect on here, like such. Just let it collect, all of it, like that. So you're not really painting the full base, just collecting a nice coverage on top. So we're going to do this all over with the light silver, and then we'll come back. Okay, we've done our first layer in the light silver. Now you can see we dry brushed it all over. It's almost got like this almost chromium sort of metallic look to it. That's exactly what we wanted. So this time we're going to go with the dark one. We're going to give this a bit of a mix because of how unmixed it is. Like such. Get loads on your brush. Again, brush it off. Get it right into the bristles. Like such. And just go over this one as well now. Like such. And again, we will come back when this is done. Okay, as you can see, we've now done the darker silver as well. So it's time to move on to the gold. We're going to start with the dark gold. So again, some on your brush. Brush off. It doesn't matter if you go into the silver for this, because you're basically blending everything in with dry brush anyway. And again, we're just going to hit it with some gold, just like this. Just all over some light dry brushing of some gold. You want to get everywhere. And again, if you need to dip it in the paint, if you need to put some more on to wipe off, you can. That isn't an issue. But you want to try not to cover everything. you still want some of that silver to show through. Make sure you do the underside. Like such. And there you go. Put the dark over top. We're going with the light now. And you'll see that actually highlights the dark gold as well, which is really nice. That's why I love doing this technique. So we're just going to do a light dry brush all over. Okay. Just all over as I drop it. Smooth. Okay, now what I think is one of the most important parts. Get some of the light and mix it in with some of the silver. I need a little bit more silver. So we want Storm Host. Give it a shake. Okay, so get some more silver. And put mine near the top like that. Make sure your lid is nice and tight on your paint so it doesn't dry out. Oh, that's the wrong paintbrush. This is the paintbrush I wanted, my dry brush. Into this, you've got a nice silvery gold concoction like that. Gonna wipe it off as always. And then we're gonna do a layer of this all over as well. So, go up and down. All over the piece. Some more of the silver. Okay, now dry brushing doesn't take that long to dry, but we're going to let this dry quick and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, so now that all of our base dry brushing has been finished, we are going to do this in a blue. Now my chosen blue for this, Frost Heart from Citadel. Okay, so give this a nice shake to mix all the colour together. It looks bluer on camera than it is in person. It needs to be shaken together a little bit more. We're going to make sure all them pigments aren't separated. Starting to look okay. Okay. So we have our Frost Heart. To do this, we're going to put some on the wet palette. So we'll go here. We need quite a fair bit. It's a very watery paint, so just bear that in mind. There you go, that should be enough. Gonna wash our brush off. And then we're going to use what I consider one of my secret weapons, Lahmian Medium. Now, if anyone doesn't know, Lahmian Medium is essentially a clear paint. So we're going to get a lot of this. Roughly 50-50. And we're going to mix these together till we get this very, very thin blue colour. Like such. We want this super, super thin blue. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. And then, it's really simple. We are just going to paint all over the figure. So start from anywhere. Because of the ridges of this, I'm going to work downwards, like such. And yeah, just get to work. Just paint all over in this really watery blue. Quicker you do this, obviously the better it will be, because the paint won't dry out. But just go all over the figure. Okay, so you might notice that we had a bit of an accident with the Lahmian Medium and the contrast paint on my palette, but that's fine. This is how it's looking so far. Now, I quite like this metallic look, but I think we can do better. Just gonna get rid of that, just so we don't have too much pooling. There we go. One thing to be wary of when doing this is the pooling from the thing, but I think we can do better than this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this dry a little bit more, and then we're going to dry brush some more light silver over the top, and we put a second coat of this Lamium concoction, shall we call it. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've just taken the silver straight out of the tub, just like this. We're going to work it into our tissue. Get it all in the bristles. Like such. And again, we're just going to dry brush over. And you'll see it will start moving some of the blue, and we're going to get a nice like metallic-y blue dry brush spreading. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to do this all over, like such. Because we're not too worried about the contrast spreading. Because we want that shine. Go up here, and we'll go down here, and then we'll go across here. Okay. Kind of repainting it, that's okay. That is okay, we can fix that. No problem, it's too big that we can't refix it. So we're going to leave it like this for a second. Going to let the dry brushing and the contrast dry a bit more, and then we'll get back to it. Here it is. This is how it's looking so far, and I actually really like this already. But like I said, we can do better. So we're going to put another coat of this over the top, this Lamium contrast concoction that I dropped and then had to try and balance out my palette. We're going to go all over again. So, just like before, get it in there, be generous. Because it's darker surface, not all the contrast will show through, which is exactly what you want. And make sure you just work it around. You don't want any pooling. You just want a nice, vibrant metallic colour. So we're going to keep going down. And remember, this is Frost's Heart. It's a Citadel contrast paint. So if you do like this colour, that's the one you want to go for. That's why I always show off the paints I'm using in before I use them in the beginning of the video, just in case, because even if you don't like how this turns out, or you don't like what I do, you think I do a shitty paint job, but you like the colour, then at least you've taken something from my video, and that's all I care about. If everyone or one person can take one thing for one of my little painting rookie tutorials, then I am a happy man. A very happy man. Remember just to work out that pooling. Don't want any pooling. As I've just put all my finger in that concoction I made. Okay. There you go. And again, we're just going to go nicely across here as well. This is going to actually have a different colour, which I will show you later. But for now, we're just going to paint this all. Just get all in there. Make it look pretty. Make it look as pretty as your real life crush, or your celebrity crush, or whatever. I'm just waffling now to fill the dead air, to save me on editing. Because this is a lazy boy production right here. Right, I'm going to get a little bit more colour in the top, just here. There we go. There we go. Right, we're going to let this dry, and you'll see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it's looking so far. And I'm really loving the colours of this. Okay, so this is how it's looking so far, and I really love the colours of this. We're going to let this dry a little bit more, but while it does that, we're going to paint the underside here. These little grooves. Now to do that, I am using Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. Now you might be wondering why we didn't just use a metallic paint to do all of it. I really like, when it catches the light, you get little tints of silver and gold that appears through the blue. I'm a big fan of that. That's why I do it this way. So, we have it on a wet palette. We're going to water it down just a little bit, like such, and then we're just going to go in and we're going to go over this blue that we've already done. and it should give us a nice base. So, it's a very faint paint, but we're just going to go in like this, all the way over, and it should make it pop a little bit more. And you're going to do that all the way across. Okay, and this is what we have. So we have this more solid metallic blue on the base, all along here, where there's like pure shelling. And then when we have the ridges, we've got this nice gold and silver metallic blue showing through. I love the contrast of this. This is why I do it this way. This technique actually works with any sort of lightish contrast paint. Put over a mixture of like dry brush silver and gold, and you can get some awesome effects like this. All we need to do to finish up is we need to do the inside of the mouth with the tongue, and we need to do the eyes. To do them, we're going to mix up a little bit. We're going to use some white, and put some Pile of Glacier over the top to give it sort of like a frosty, musky appearance. So, let me grab some white. We're going to use Vallejo Dead White, or Blanco, whichever you want to call it. Just need a little bit, just like that. For this, I am going to go to my old faithful, my Monster Brush. Nice, sturdy, fine tip. Wet it a little bit. Get some paint on our brush. Wipe off any excess. And we're just going to go in for the eyes. So that, we're going to do the tongue as well, just in here. So I'm going to do this off screen. I'll show you when we're done. Okay, so we've done the eyes with the white. Done the teeth as well, because I figured why not. We have got a little bit of spillover on the lips, but that's fine. We can touch that with some black paint afterwards. Got a finger full of Lamian blue. Okay, and to do this, we've got our Pile of Glacier. We have our white. We are just literally going to go straight into the bowl, and we're just going to put it over the top. Be a bit generous. Just like that. In my experience with this paint, if you go onto the darker blue, it will not show up that well. Unless you do pooling like that, which I've really messed up. Get it on the tongue in here to give it that appearance. Like such. Get it on the teeth. Yeah, you can be quite generous with this paint, I've learned in my experience of using it. We need to fix that pooling. A little bit of paint. Go in like this. Like such. And we'll let that dry and we'll see how it looks when it's done. And this is our finished final design. Obviously the tongue needs a bit of work, but overall I'm very happy with how this came out. We have the solid metallic blue at the base, and we've got this goldy sort of chromium blue on top. As I said, this works with any sort of metallic you can find. So dry brush some silver and some gold, build up your gradient, and then put over a contrast. You want a brighter contrast, so a blue, a red, a green, and they'll all have the same effect as this. And yeah, this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please drop the video a like, it helps me amazingly. I might do a giveaway for this, so I will let you know. If you haven't already, please drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and hopefully see you in the next painting tutorial. Bye guys.